Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Precious and you're welcome back to Done by Precious YouTube channel. If you're here for the first time, thank you very much for stopping by, and if you're a returning subscriber, thank you so much for coming back. This is what we're going to be learning how to make today, this beautiful bralette top. If this is what you want to see, definitely keep on watching. And if you haven't subscribed, please hit on the subscribe button and turn your notification bell so you get notified anytime I upload a new video. So this is what we're going to be making today, and please, you have to watch this to the very end. So we have to get right into the video now. So for this bralette, I'm going to be using this piece of fabric. I don't know the measurement, I just have it for a very long time. It's just a leftover fabric, and this is what I'm going to be using for this bralette. So to get your measurement for your bralette, you're going to place your tape at the middle of your bust and measure to one side of the bust, from the middle of the bust to the end of the bust towards the armhole area. So that's how you get your measurement. So when I measured mine, I got 8 inches and I added 1 inch for seam allowance. So whatever it is you get, you can add 1 inch of or half of an inch. So this is me marking 9 inches as the width of my bralette. So now I'm just going to mark a baseline. From there we're going to be taking our measurements. So now the width is going to be 9 inches, the length is also going to be 9 inches. So whatever it is you get, either 8 inches or 9 inches, add half inch to it or 1 inch, and that is going to be the width and the length of your bralette. So I'm just going to make a straight line, and this is all the measurement that we need. So we're going to be cutting this out now. So after we're done cutting that, we're still going to make our fabric into two like we did the first one, and we're going to be using that to cut out another one, and that's going to serve as our lining. You can decide to use a different lining pieces. You can use a doll face fabric or your lining, or you can also use your fabric like I'm doing. So I'm just going to use this as my lining as well. So I'm just going to cut it out. So now I have two pieces, and these two pieces that I have, I'm going to be dividing each of them into two. So since the fabric is on fold, when I divide this into two, it becomes two. So I have two pieces there and I have two pieces here, making it four, which is serving as my lining and also my main bralette. So this is what we have. And now we're going to be taking the shape of our bralette. So we're going to fold it like this first of all, and we're going to be folding it again. So just watch what I am doing. So after folding it first, we fold it again. So you take one end to the other end like this, and we're going to cut it out. So this is what we're going to be doing for the front piece and our lining. So I'm going to do this for the other one. Fold it, take one end to the other end like so, and fold again, and we're going to cut that out. So I'll be doing this for my lining too. So this is my lining. I went ahead to cut it. So when you open it, this is what it's going to look like. So you're going to notice that we have a sharp edge at that point. So we're just going to blend it with our curve. If you do not have a curve, you can use a free hand for this. Just blend that pointed edge. So I'm just going to mark at that, and I'm going to be cutting it out. So I did the same thing for my lining, and this is what we have. So what we're going to do now is to take this to our sewing machine, and we're going to be sewing from that open edge from the top to the bottom. You don't have to sew it all through to the top. So where the opening ends is where you're going to stop sewing. So this opening, you sew it from that place we blended to the bottom. So I'm going to be doing this for my fabric and my lining. So after sewing this is what our cup looks like. You can see it's taking shape already. So this is what I was saying earlier. You just have to stop at that point that we blended. You don't have to sew it all the way through to the top. So this is what mine looked like. I went ahead to give it a good press. Now this is our band, the band we're going to be using for the bottom part of this bralette, and also for our hand for the shoulder. So for the bottom part, the one we're going to be attaching to the bottom part, I have 31 inches there, and the width is 6 inches. I have 31 inches, and that is the length for my waist measurement. I added 1 inch to it. My waist measurement is 30. I added 1 inch to it. So the one we're going to be attaching to our bralette, the top of our bralette, is 1 inch. So I'm going to fold it into 2, and I'm going to run a straight stitch on it for the bolt straps. So the length is 20 inches. So this is it. This is the one we're going to be attaching to the top of our bralette. I sewed it and I went ahead to iron it. So we're going to be putting this aside, and we're going to be working on our bralette now. So I'm going to take one part of the bralette, place them right sides facing to each other. We're going to be pinning it down and we'll sew on it. So I'm just going to place this right sides facing, and I'm going to pin it. So pin it, but when we get to the top, we're going to be attaching one of our strap to the top of the bralette. So just look at what I'm doing if you do not understand. So this one part, I'm going to open it up like this, place it at the top, and close it with that other one, and we're going to be pinning it down. So we'll be sewing it round, leaving the bottom part open. We're going to be doing this for the both cups. I'm going to sew this. After sewing, this is one part of it. We're going to open this up, and you can see our bralette is taking shape already. So because I don't want this to be too opened, I'm going to place them right sides facing to each other, and I'm going to stitch the middle a little because I don't want it to be too open. So this is optional. If you want it to be open, you can just leave it open, but I don't want it to be open, so I just decided to close the center front a little. So I'm just going to take this to my sewing machine. I'm going to be stitching on it. So this is what I have after I stitched on the center front of my bralette. So this part is where we're going to be attaching the bralette to the band. So I notched the middle of my band, as you can see. I'm going to place the middle of my bralette from that stitch I made. So I just got the middle. So I'm going to place that on the band as you see me doing, and I'm going to pin it down. So from one side of the bralette to the other side of the bralette, I'm going to be attaching it to the band. So after pinning this down, I'm going to show you how we're going to close up that part. To close up this, I am going to fold my bralette like this, as you see me doing. I'll fold it, then when it gets to that part where I pinned, I'm going to stop. So I'm going to take the other part of the band and close it up. So I'm going to be placing it on that place I pinned earlier, like so, and I'll be stitching this down. So it helps us have a neat finishing at the bottom. So this is how we're going to be closing it up, and we're going to be stopping at where the bralette stops. We're not going to be closing everything up. So where the bralette stops is where we're going to stop. So after stitching it down, I am going to open this and show you what it looks like. So this is what I have, and this is how neat it is. So you can decide to make the band longer, so you can just tie it at your back and also the strap at your neck. But if you want to do something else with this, then maybe you can try this method that I used. What I'm going to do now is to measure from where my bralette stopped. I'm going to measure 4 inches, and that is where we're going to be connecting that strap on our shoulder. We're going to be connecting it to the band. So I'm going to add this, pin it down. We're going to be stitching. I'm going to close that up, and now I need to cut out my casing for my elastic, because I'm going to be adding elastic to the middle part of the back. So the width is 6 inches, and when it is unfold it becomes 3 inches, because the band, when the band is unfold, is 3 inches. So I want it to be equal with the band on the bralette. So the length is 8 inches, and when I put my elastic inside, it shrinks. So you can use whatever measurement you want, and you can make your own elastic casing and band wider if you want. So I'm going to stitch this down, and I'm going to add my elastic to it. The length of the elastic I added to that elastic casing is 3 inches. So after attaching the strap to the bottom part of the band, this is what it looks like. So now for the final part of this bralette, I'm going to be adding my elastic to it. So this is the elastic. I covered it with my elastic casing. So I'm going to attach it from one end to the other end. So I'm going to be showing you how to do it. So right side facing right side, I'm going to place it at one end, pin it down with my pin, and also do the same thing for the other side. So if you do not understand what I'm saying, just pay attention to what I'm doing. So we're going to stitch that down, and after stitching, this is what we have. You can see how pretty this bralette looks. It's so pretty, and it's just something I tried out. Now this is the outcome. This is the front. If you like what I did with this video, please give it a thumbs up, and if you have any question or suggestion, I'll be in the comment section to read it. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe to the channel. Subscribing is absolutely free, and it helps the channel grow. And now this is what the back looks like. So this will be all for today. I'll be seeing you in my next video. Thank you for watching, and have a good day.